Hello, this is Paul Cheney with Spartan Design University. Let's begin by building the navigation for our site. This particular example features sub-navigation or nested unordered lists, which we've built before, but which we're going to have to modify a little bit to make it work with our template here. Those same list items are now displayed up here. All right. So with that kind of in the back of your mind, let's jump over to our default template, which I've just downloaded. And I have the source code up over here. And you can see that I have a basic nav with an unordered list inside of it. Now, it says 1, 2, 3, which is fine. Now this is a review, but let's go over it one more time. Make sure that when you put a nested UL in here, that you put it inside the closing list item. So there's the secondary unordered list, and then of course within that we have standard list items with anchors. So I'm just going to copy that, and this will be maybe A, B, and C. Alright, so what we have to do with this unordered list is we have to give it a class. And the class that we need to give it is called primary-nav. Now we'll see in a minute why we have to give it that class. It has to do with the jQuery that we'll be using. Then we have to give each one of these list items that has children. Okay, so currently this one does not have children, so it's ready to go, and this one's ready to go. But this one does have children, so it must have a class called parent. And when you give this a class of parent, what it does is it puts this triangle over here to the right side so that you know visually that there's something that you can click on to get submenu items. And then the primary nav is what makes it collapse up into this whole thing up here in the corner on the desktop only, or on the phone only. Alright, so now this is, of course, I don't want A, 1, 2, 3, that stuff in there. So let me pause the video. I'm going to put in all this stuff fleshed out so you don't have to waste your time watching me type. I've now input all of the main menu items, in this case politics, opinions, technology, and travel. And under each one I've inserted a sub list for the sub menu items. In this case, liberals, conservatives, others are underneath the politics tab. My Way the Highway is underneath opinion. Computers, medical, space is underneath technology, and beaches and hotels are nested inside of travel. Now we're still not quite done. Down here after the unordered list closes, but before the navigation closes, we're going to drop in a button. There it is. We're going to call it toggle navigation, and we're going to give it a class. Now once again, this class is required by the jQuery stuff that we're going to download in a minute. But what they're looking for is nav-button. Now let's take a look at what we have thus far. We'll open this up in Google Chrome. Here is our list. There's our toggle navigation. What happens is when we shrink down to phone size, this button is this button right up here, and by toggling it on and off, it shows and hides the unordered list and list items below it. Now that we've got the code in place, we're ready to style the button and get the jQuery necessary to make it work.